Okay, so the drink that I will be sharing today is the Dirty Shirley. Okay, so it's a grown-up take on the Shirley Temple. You know, the first little drink you had that when you're trying to look cute, you know, your mom let you order it, be a little fancy. But this one has vodka in it because we grown down. Okay, so Dirty Shirley is simply we use, like I said, the Crystal Head Vodka with a little grenadine and topped off with a little Sprite and a couple of cherries.
Cute.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay.
Now, what? It's a little sweet for me, because you know.
I could use a little more Sprite.
I could use a little bit more vodka.
I mean, here. No, we have options.
I can use a little bit more. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna use the rest of my little shot.
There you go.
And see what's happening right there.
Did they say that my drink? Silent killer.
There's in my drink was weed. That is so unlike Tasha.
You probably used the wrong side of the sugar.
We'll figure it out.
Here you go.
Now I will say this is super nostalgic, and I love this because I remember going out to dinner with my parents and thought I was super fancy. Like, yes, I surely told you.
Thank you. It does hit you later, right? Hopefully, it might sneak up on you, maybe.
Well, here's the thing. It's the array of cocktails that we have going on, I'm sure.
And a lit time will happen regardless.
In the future, maybe we just take down the grenadine just a little bit because it doesn't need.
It is quite red.
It could be just a little pink-ish.
Okay.
I thought it was supposed to like set like the layer. You know, I don't know.
No, that's
No.
that was not the instructions that I.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Follow the instructions today.
Portion control. Okay. Anyway,
You said yeah.
back to my question.
Who knows?
Control has been lost.
You, yeah.
Sorry, be wrong. Okay. Okay. So, ladies, once y'all pull yourself together,
Yeah.
think about, in the book, Shonda, I think 6 years after her year of yes, that's actually when COVID hit. You know, the world sort of stopped. And so she talked about different things that she learned during that time, and then she actually made the pivotal choice just to pick up and move her family.
Now that
Just picked up and moved. Like one of her friends was moving, and she was like, "What?
I'll go to.
Wait a minute, make that happen too." And then started looking, and then ended up moving. Right, made a huge change to her life. So I'm just curious. I do again, COVID. That was time when the world stopped. We all sort of learned new things we didn't know before. What is either a skill that you learned, or just something about yourself that you learned during that quiet time? If y'all need a second, I can give you a minute. I can go first.
Can I answer this? Stop. Such a go ahead.
Oh,
You can add it. Go ahead.
you want to go ahead?
Oh, you sorry. I'm find something better.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, I do remember during that time, everybody was doing a lot of dances. Everybody was learning TikTok dances. I tried that. It did not work out. That's not really that's not my thing. But I feel for me, that actually is when I really started doing more of my crafting. When I I was what are people doing on the internet? And I learned different things, different techniques. That's when I was really, that's what pushed me to be oh, I have a whole business out here. Look what I can make. So it definitely was a time of discovery in that. I always liked making stuff as a hobby, but then I realized, oh, wait a minute, I can do this. And then, of course, I bought other materials and other things, and some things I'm telling my husband about, different printers and stuff to be popping up. But that's what I really just said, just, you're on the internet and you just realize, oh, I can pick up a skill or two around here. So that's when I started doing all that.
I mean, for me, I was still working. For me, COVID happened, but it was daily routine for Steph. So nothing really, I didn't have a lot of idle time because I was still working and we were still busy at that time. So for me, it was just more finding a home routine. Like when I used to come home, I'm home, I get to chill. I've been at work, traffic, gym life, whatever life. And then I would come home and I would chill and I realized, okay, you can't do that anymore. Everything is home for you. The gym life, work, chill, just all of the above. And so for me, I just had to find accountability within myself to say, hey, you need to get up to do this. So for me, I didn't really learn a new hobby. I just learned how that there are things that you can do at home and it's okay if you're not on the couch or on the bed.
You know how to manage that time. That was
Yes.
I'm trying to find how to. My God, that sounded crazy. I'm trying to find the words without sounding insensitive. Because
Go ahead.
no, because I don't want to get canceled. It's very much a thing. But so I want to acknowledge that COVID was a very dark time for a lot of people. It it was just like a very dark time. Like there was no contact. Some people were in isolation, and it was a lot. So I do want to acknowledge that. However, for me, COVID was a very good reset for me. Because COVID happened right after my first year of grad school. And my first year of grad school was culture shift wise was the toughest time of my life. Like I felt like I was trying to truly figure out who I was in this new environment, and I was experiencing homesickness, and like it was that first year was tough, being in Florida away from my people. And so COVID allowed me to go home, back to Utah and be with my family. All of my sisters were together, my parents, we were all in one house. And it just like allowed me to remember who I am and what my values are, but then also to just relax because I'm in a place that's familiar, to like get ready to go back out into the world once I got a reminder of like who I am and what I stand for. And so I feel like that's what COVID was for me.
That's cool.
So it was good. It was a good moment of reflection for me.
Yeah, I did a resetting. Going back home and then
And having to be there for a minute, because I was home for like 3 months, 3 or 4 months. Then honestly, probably more like 5 or 6. I was there for a long time. So it just was like, okay, I remember who I am now. I'm grounded. I can go back to Florida and, let these people know who they're missing.
I'm so sorry. That part. So I think what for me, there was so much going on during COVID, but not really. So I think the biggest thing was obviously the social aspect. I'm an only child and I definitely enjoy my own company and I'm fine with me. But believe it or not, I am a social butterfly. So not having the option to socialize with people, left me in the house with the man that I was in a relationship with at the time and our 2 kids who were like climbing the walls, right? Because they couldn't interact with their friends. And I think it was hard watching the kids deal with the isolation, right? Because, that's not what they're used to. But I think that I'm kind of the same. I'm in agreement with kind of both Steph and Lex. And that work didn't change. Like my work, like I was remote before COVID. I've been remote for the past 15 years. So working and being at home wasn't really a change. I think it was the interaction of everybody else. Like, oh, y'all here too. So now you guys are kind of imposing on my quiet time, right? Because everyone's here all the time. So it was a lot of discipline in this is the time for this. This is the space for this, right? Because when you're in your home and everything is happening in your home, you do have to be very disciplined in, I don't work in my bedroom. I don't do laundry during my work day because if you didn't make those adjustments, then it became just this constant go all the time, right? To the point that Lex made about the reset. And okay, there's nobody else. So it's me and these people that I live with that live here. So we, it became about how do we interact with each other, right? In these close spaces without like, because there was nowhere that you could send anybody. Like you couldn't send anybody anywhere to get a break. You couldn't really go anybody to get a break. So that was, I think, the biggest thing for me is just one, reconnecting with the fact that I'm okay with me and my own company, and I don't necessarily need a whole bunch of other people. but also it.
So wondering, I love me.
I love me.
Never ever doubt that.
And here's the thing. The year of yes, and Shonda told me, it's okay. I'm like, girl, you too? I thought I had to act like, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, and then the other thing, like I said, just managing those spaces and continuing to manage the spaces, because even now, at my home now, that's where I relax. This is where I read. That is where I sleep. It's very compartmentalized. And that's what I got the most is the separation of spaces and things and the intentionality. So
I feel like maybe I had more free time on my hands than y'all. Y'all were like, oh, I'm still working. I'm like, girl, I quit my job and I was out here making t-shirts and stuff.
listen. We not that is another conversation for a whole other day, because what we not gonna do is go down the rabbit hole of Tasha and
I had just said yes, and I was discovering myself.
And I love that for you.
We was watching Tiger King.
We watched Tiger King. I definitely was.
We was locked in.
I love that for you. Girl, Kobe came. I quit my job and started making t-shirts.
That's all I needed.
Period. Like, a global pandemic, they said we gotta, I definitely can't do this anymore.
They buy that cricket.
Yes. The cricket, the silver lead, how many? I need all of them.
The press. Yeah, all of it.
I love that for you. That's so dope. I want to be, when I run,
just like that.
Yeah, because that's dope.
Sometimes I forget that everything. We're all different. We all have different lives. Different. That is what makes this show great. We all have different perspectives. We all bring in different stuff. And I know that y'all don't judge me.
Absolutely not. You are that mentor and role model that she talked about, girl. You're.
I have my own mentor. All right. I think Steph got the last drink.
Yes, we're going into the last cocktail.